alternates every day. This pool will travel with him wherever he goes, and he made that statement that we saw earlier to the pool. The rest of the press who is accompanying the pool insists that he be secured, and then secondly, he must remain in efficient strategic communication with that community.
Well, that's what I was on.
Really,
I think it's been
hundreds of people is now silent.
We have to determine who is responsible, why this happened without protection in so many different locations within the United States, and then respond accordingly.
Let me ask you this, because you raised the issue. Let's try to find out who might be responsible for this.
Well, I think it is. You've got to be careful here not to jump to placing the report and then releasing that report probably here. Additional fire apparatus arriving on the scene. You might not get like you were evacuated. All they found people have been evacuated out into the street. And again, the Secret Service now putting up yellow police line tape, and some of them going left here for automatic license, which will be quite extraordinary here across the White House.
John, tell us as best you can what the government's national security apparatus will do right now. I mean, what do you guess is happening, and where is it happening?
Well, in the way, I don't want to get to it all, but in the situation room, a president or a vice president can direct a full-scale world war. The White House situation room is where all information is accessible to all information from the United States military, from the Federal Emergency Management Agency, from the Federal Aviation Administration. I work at the Federal Building behind City Hall, and we were just sitting at our desks about 9 a.m. this morning. We heard a big explosion. Then about 5 minutes or 10 minutes later, we saw the other plane.
Well, obviously, that was...
And was the whole federal building evacuated, Mr. Levy?
Yeah, well, we started running out of the building as soon as we saw the second explosion.
That whole area down there, the City Hall, the federal building, and all the other commercial buildings, they've all been evacuated as well?
Well, yeah, as we were leaving, the police were telling all the shop owners to shut their shops and go home.
Benjamin Levy. Benjamin, thanks so much for talking with us. We appreciate it, and we're glad you're safe.
Katie, I've got just a little rundown here, if I can, Matt, for just a moment about what's going on around the country. The State Department officials have been moved into the State Department Training Center in Arlington, Virginia. The state has been evacuated, obviously.
Now coming up on 10:59 East Coast time, we'll give you a recap of what we've seen so far in just a moment. Just a quick into the second tower. It was a short time after that the towers collapsed.
To protect the American people, our military at home and around the world is on high alert.
Totally distressed. I'm praying for all those people who have died, but I believe that we must be very careful from our enemies.
And we're able to organize this very complex operation in a way.
We talked about the United States and Canada cooperated today, closing down the air pretty close. Closed all of its airspace to foreign aircraft today and evacuated.
Haida Lagayo,
for all the folks who have been
Calvin Leon,
fighting hard to rescue
Heather
our
Burns,
citizens.
Angel
And to join me in
Gonzalez,
saying a prayer
Gino
for the
Bento,
victims and their families.
Abdel Rodriguez. Please report to the seal. Thank you.
The resolve of our great nation.
Emilio, right there. There you go. Fill this out, please. Give you.
The second American Airlines Flight 77, this is a Boeing 757, left Dulles Airport near Washington. To those of you who are watching, we've been reporting that all flights within the United States have been canceled. There's been a complete hold down on all commercial travel. However, there were planes that may have landed in the last few minutes, but that was the information as of a few minutes ago. All of them were said to be within 50 or so miles of their destination.
Of the church, I might add, we've managed to get up on the roof here to get a vantage point, is Congressman Kurt Weldon, a Republican from Pennsylvania, around the Philadelphia area, not exactly where that video that we just saw.
Just 45 minutes ago, in a meeting with 70 senators and House members, how much advance notice did you have? He said none. There was no intelligence. Our FBI and our CIA that we've been told that was a demise facility, it's a tragedy. It took the loss of thousands of
milling around or trying to get information? Have you been able to get information?
Not a whole lot. Most information we got was when we went to the U.S. Capitol Police headquarters, and they were piecing together what had happened and trying to feed us.
This is a statement by the Joint Chiefs of Staff. That's exactly, I want to clarify that. This is from the report back to Aaron Brown in New York. Hospitals in Washington dealing with the casualties from the Pentagon who are able to get to a hospital anywhere in the Washington area. It is very possible that there is a need for blood to be found out there as well. Aaron, now back to you in New York.
City, thanks. We now have been told that Los Angeles International Airport LAX has been evacuated. They are.
About an hour ago, he believes it's only within a lot of organizations.
I have to say that both the FBI and our intelligence community believe that this is the best opportunity. And I believe, because I first point out this to the Clinton administration, said they're going to kill Americans, and we've got to get on top of it. I think we're going to have to get on top of it because this is a cowardly bunch.
My entire family works in that vicinity. My job is 10 blocks away from the World Trade Center.
As they struggled with the news of the apparent terrorist attacks in New York and Washington, many tourists appeared to be unaware. They went about enjoying the parks until the fun was cut short mid-morning with this announcement.
Due to unforeseen circumstances, the Magic Kingdom is now closing.
The lines quickly grew for the ferries and monorail to exit the Magic Kingdom. At the main gate to each park, Disney workers passed along free passes to any and all of Disney's theme parks for another day, with no expiration date.
Sorry for the inconvenience, sir.
These vendors gathered in the parking lot listening to news of the attacks on their car radio.
Something needs to be done about that if this many aircraft can be hijacked.
Feeling helpless, the Concepcion family was desperate to talk to their loved ones.
If I can have one phone call just to call my mom or my sisters, hoping that they didn't go to work today, that would be great, but I haven't done anything. I haven't contact with no one.
Bill, Congress, as Bill has just informed you, there have been the most terrible, shocking events taking place in the United States of America within the last hour or so, including 2 hijacked planes being flown deliberately into the World Trade Center. I'm afraid we can only imagine the terror and the carnage there, and the many, many innocent people that will have lost their lives. I know that you would want to join with me in sending the deepest condolences to President Bush and to the American people on behalf of the British people at these terrible events. This mass terrorism is the new evil in our world today. It is perpetrated by fanatics who are utterly indifferent to the sanctity of human life. And we, the democracies of this world, are going to have to come together to fight it together and eradicate this evil completely from our world.
What we need to know in terms of San Diego State is that classes have been canceled for today.
There was no excitement at today's announcement. Everyone knew what is now probably the greatest tragedy of our time led to the school shutting down for the day. While many took advantage of the canceled classes and left, others stuck around and listened to the latest on the radio.
The Associated Press reporting on a passenger that was on United Flight 93.
But as many of them left campus, they couldn't help but wonder what could happen next.
Finally! How long have you been waiting? 9:15.
Are you aware of what's happened? Have you been watching the news?
Well, most of the coverage has been taken off from us. You know, we haven't been able to see it, but I understand that everything's closed down and some really drastic things going on. Sad.
What does it make you think about?
It makes me think of the Oklahoma City bombing because that was my home. But it's a very sad situation.
Are you frightened, ma'am, at all? Or?
Well, I'm not frightened, but I'm concerned.
Are you aware of what happened?
Partially.
What do you think about when you...
I really don't know what to think.
They said they got 35 flights. We don't know when. I've been here.
Have they told you what's going on here? Do you know what the problem is?
That they've shut down all the airports in the country, and nobody's going anywhere. And they're just kind of bringing the luggage up. They can.
Do you know why they shut down the airports, though? I mean, are you aware that there's been some bombings?
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I think it's unbelievable. I think it's tragic. I can't.
Do you fear for your safety?
No. I'll be fine.